Hey, what's up everyone? Hope you're all doing great because there's a brand new update that just dropped for ARK Survival Ascended, and this one's honestly one of the biggest we've seen in a while. We're talking about version 1.077.002, also known as V77.2, and it's packed with content that's going to change up how you play, explore, and even build. This isn't one of those tiny hotfix patches either. It's a massive release that brings new creatures, systems, and fixes that actually make a difference in day-to-day gameplay. First off, the Lost Colony expansion inside this update is something people have been waiting on for a while, and it's finally here with a bang. It introduces a whole new region called the Necrocene, a darker, more mysterious zone that really shifts the atmosphere of the game. You can feel the tension in the air when you step into it. Everything from the lighting to the terrain just feels like a completely different world. And with this new environment comes a fresh batch of creatures that adds so much to the ecosystem. We've got newcomers like Solwyn, Malwyn, Veilwyn, and Gloon, each with their own unique traits and uses. Then there are some heavy hitters like the Cryolophosaurus and Gigadesmodus that bring more power and intensity to combat. The Aureliac stands out too, looking stunning but deadly, a perfect example of ARK's wild creature design. It's not just about new creatures though, because this update also drops an entirely new set of systems and gear that make surviving and thriving even more interesting. We now have things like the Bloodforge, Warbench, Cryo Hospital, and Tek Bunker, each designed to add new layers to base building and resource management. The Bloodforge in particular is something a lot of players are already experimenting with because it ties into crafting unique gear and resources in a way that feels both useful and rewarding. The Tek Bunker is another huge addition for tribe defense, giving builders more creative ways to secure their bases while still looking sleek and high-tech. On the gameplay side, Studio Wildcard clearly listened to the community because the update also brings a bunch of new server configuration options. That means server admins now have way more control over things like how tech bunkers behave, how outposts regenerate, and how multipliers affect gameplay balance. It's the kind of backend improvement that might not sound flashy, but it's going to make official and unofficial servers way more customizable and balanced. Something I really appreciate is the amount of polish this patch brings to the game's interface and overall feel. The character creator got some attention again, making it easier to fine-tune your survivor's appearance. The HUD placement has also improved, especially with new no-build zone previews that make base placement a lot less frustrating. And for those who like chatting in global chat on official servers, there's now a new rule that restricts global chat for characters under level 10, which should help cut down on spam and trolling, making the social side of the game a little more bearable. Performance-wise, the patch does a solid job cleaning up some persistent issues that have been bugging players. There were fixes for server stalls, stacking height exploits, companion persistence problems, and foliage flickering that used to drive people crazy. A lot of players also noticed smoother inventory management and fewer weird graphical bugs when placing structures. Even smaller details like UI scaling and cosmetic display fixes are here, and it just makes the whole experience feel smoother and more refined. The new Lost Colony story elements are also worth mentioning because they add depth and lore that players have been craving. There's a sense that ARK Survival Ascended is starting to grow beyond just the survival sandbox and moving toward a richer narrative experience. You get new milestones, story cues, and interactions that make it feel like you're uncovering something ancient and mysterious, rather than just surviving day by day. Overall, version 1.077.002 is one of those updates that you can tell the devs put a lot of work into. It's not just content for the sake of content. It's a proper expansion of the world, with systems that feed into each other and gameplay that feels more rewarding. Between the new zone, the incredible lineup of creatures, the fresh crafting stations, and the countless fixes and improvements, this patch is a big win for ARK players who've been waiting for that next big step forward. Whether you're exploring the Necrocene for the first time, setting up your new tech bunker, or just trying to tame one of the new beasts, there's plenty here to sink your teeth into. So yeah, if you haven't updated yet, this is the one you don't want to miss, because ARK Survival Ascended just got a whole lot bigger and a whole lot better.